Hello, everyone. Hopefully, everyone is staying nice and cool on this steamy Wednesday afternoon. It's hump day. There is a lot going on. Boy, oh boy, is there a lot going on. For starters, let me begin by congratulating all of the people that made this year's Talkers Heavy 100 list. This is the list of the most important, most influential radio talk show hosts in the country. Is it a perfect list? No, but I got news for you. There are no perfect lists, but it's a very good list. And I'm very pleased to see so many friends of mine make this list of the Heavy 100. Brian Kilmeade made it at number 3 there. You see, you have Mike Gallagher, the great Mike Gallagher, coming in at number 9. Lee Habib, former guest of mine, coming in at number 10. The great one, Mark Levin, at number 12. And Sid Rosenberg reaching a new high of number 13. I think that is the highest ranking for any local talk show host in the Heavy 100, maybe ever, but certainly this year. And then coming in at 19, another great local host, my buddy Harry Hurley of WPG in Atlantic City. So congratulations to everybody that made this year's Heavy 100 list. It is quite an impressive thing, and no doubt about it. And this is the first year in about 5 years that I've not made the Heavy 100 list, because one of the criteria of the Heavy 100 is that you have to be currently on the radio. And of course, currently I am not on the radio, at least not vis-a-vis my own show. Hopefully that will change soon, but for the time being, I'm not on the radio. So congratulations to everybody that made the list, and hopefully that they produce hours and hours of radio entertainment for you. So well deserved, and I'm kind of sad not to make it, but it is what it is. Hey, speaking of people not making things, someone is going to have to explain to me how Juan Soto is not an all-star this year. I'm a Met fan. My cards are on the table, and I'm going to be very open about that. Juan Soto is having an incredible year. One of the more controversial things on Facebook that I've posted lately is a comparison of the statistics. Now, they're just offensive statistics. That's true. Comparing Juan Soto with Jazz Chisholm. And if you look at their numbers, it's amazing that you look at Jazz Chisholm Jr. And think that he's an all-star, and Juan Soto is not. Juan Soto has over 20 home runs, over 50 RBIs. The guy has an on-base percentage over 400, a slugging percentage over 500. I don't understand all of these, these sabermetric statistics of WAR and everything else, but he's doing really well in all those statistics as well. I really think this is a case of the fans and whoever else has a role in picking the all-star team penalizing Soto because he is so well paid and because he's such a good ball player. There are haters out there. We all know this. And, one thing that I kind of made fun of when I was on the radio is there was this article a while back about good-looking people talking about how they're discriminated against. Now, I thought it was ridiculous, and I still think it's mostly ridiculous, because as a good-looking person, you have so many advantages, right? But I think there maybe is some small element of truth to it. I can tell you, as one of the most handsome people that I know, I get dismissed and discriminated against all the time, and I think it's because of how handsome I am. I really do. So I think with the case of Soto, he's the highest paid baseball player of all time. And if he were judged as any other baseball player, as any other outfielder would be judged, just based on his statistics and what he's doing, I think you would see him making the all-star team. But it's because the people voting are viewing this through the prism of somebody that's getting paid $750 million that all of a sudden say, yeah, he's good. In fact, he's great. But is he good enough to justify that $750 million salary? That shouldn't matter. when you're picking the All-Star team, you're not picking someone based on how good they're playing compared to their salary. You're picking someone based on how good they are. Now, I know everyone made fun of me saying, "Oh, what does it matter if he's an All-Star?" No, it doesn't. It doesn't. My life is going to go on, and certainly Juan Soto's life is going to go on. He has a $750 million pillow filled with cash that he can cry on. But at the same time, the All-Star game either means something or it doesn't. It should mean something to be an All-Star. These should be the best players in baseball. The fact of the matter is, Soto is. Soto is. All right, Carrie writes, miss you at night, WCCO, Eagan, Minnesota. Thank you, Carrie. I miss being on. I am hoping that we could figure out something that I could come back to radio, at least on a semi-regular basis, to do my own show, to be heard on stations like WCCO in Minnesota. I don't know what that'll be. We'll see. But thank you for that. Riker Christina on Instagram writes, hi, Frank, do you know Lionel? Well, Christina, I've spent a lot. Now, I don't expect you or anybody else to know every minute I've ever spent talking about every subject, but I've spent a lot of time talking about my relationship with Lionel, both in these videos and on the radio. So I'm not going to repeat everything that I've said previously. But yes, I do know him. I've known him for many years. Oh, Council Member Vicky Palladino checking in, saying hi. Hi to you, Council Member. Minority Whip Palladino. Excuse me. So, by the way, speaking of radio, my colleagues over at WABC are doing this terrific event to benefit Shriners International. Oh, sorry. Look, just so happens it's an endorsement from when the New York Post endorsed me. How do I get rid of this? How do I get rid of that now? Well, see, it's been a while since I did these videos. Boop. How do I get rid of that? Remove from can't figure out how to remove that now. Delete. All right. Well, now I can't figure it out. Well, anyway, this is what I was trying to show. All right. So that's what I was trying to show. This is this great upcoming game on Sunday, July 20th. It's at the Staten Island University Hospital Community Park on Staten Island. And it starts at 9:30. It's a full day of charity softball. You're going to have the cops playing the firefighters. Now, both endorsed me. Both the cops and the firefighters endorsed me, so I love them both. So I'm going to remain neutral. I can't go to the event, but this is a wonderful event. John Sterling, the voice of the Yankees for decades, is going to be calling the game. How cool is that? There's going to be a home run derby. There's going to be a fastest pitch showdown. So Doc Gooden from that incredible 1986 Mets team, and then, of course, he subsequently played for the Yankees. Why they chose to showcase him in a Yankee uniform on this flyer is beyond me, when his, of course, best years were with the Mets. I don't understand that. He's going to be there. And then Art Shamsky, who was a great part of that 1969 Mets team. They're both going to be there. And a lot of WABC radio talk show hosts like Sid Rosenberg, Anthony Cumia, and Lionel, as well as others. So it's going to be fun. It's a great day if you like the cops or firefighters. It's a great day if you like baseball. And it's a great day if you like talk radio. So if you want to go, I definitely would suggest you check it out. Again, you can go to ShrinersChildren'sChampions.org to buy tickets. ShrinersChildren'sChampions.org. It's a wonderful, wonderful group that helps a lot of children. And Rachel and I are going to be away that day, but I'm sorry that we can't be there. Hey, by the way, people watching on Instagram, let me know if you can see what I'm doing, because the only thing I see is sort of our background, which is the WABC Frank Morano wallpaper. On Facebook, I can see everything, but I can't see it on Instagram. So that should be a fun night, and I'm hoping a lot of you, or fun day, I'm hoping a lot of you will be able to attend. I'm just sorry that I can't be there. Okay, Gnome went with the FDNY. Yeah, I think, that's it is. Yeah, Pedro points out that the Yankees is where Gooden hit his no-hitter. That is true. That is true. Jason says, what does he say? I used to watch and love the Yankees being a New Jersey boy. Frank, I do miss you as well on WABC and always tune into Sid and Friends. Happy you won your district and I donated to Curtis even though I live in New Jersey. I truly believe what happens in New York City affects New Jersey and vice versa. I agree with you. And thank you for donating to Curtis. It would be nice if you wanted to donate to me as well. My website, if you want to donate, is morano4council.com. That's MORANO for council.com. And if you're a New Yorker watching this and you make a donation, all the donations are matchable 8-1. That's 8-1. So if you give $10, the city kicks in as $90. See, a lot of people. RS Michelle says Instagram shows your room as the background. Huh. So does that mean you don't see me if you're watching on Instagram? You're one of the 3 people watching on Instagram? Let me know. I see. I don't understand what's going on with Instagram. Facebook's no problem. The YouTube is no problem. It is what it is. By the way, if you are watching, I do hope that you will like, comment, and share. Please like, comment, and share. And that'll help more people discover these little broadcasts. I am going to actually, this is not going to be particularly lengthy, because I have to go pick up my son Carmine from summer camp, but I wanted to be sure that that we were in touch with everything that's going on. On the, I did go just as a follow up to one of our previous Facebook Live videos. You know, we did these thyroid screenings, and in the thyroid screening, they had, they basically said that I had 2 nodules, small nodules, but nodules nonetheless, and suggested that I get them checked out. So I know a lot of you were concerned about that, and you'll be happy to know that I went to the doctor yesterday, and they don't believe that there's any problems at all, thankfully. He did send me for some blood work today, so I went for some blood work and did my thing there. I'm waiting the results back on that, but so far, dare I say, so good. So thank you to everybody that had written in. And unless the blood work shows something bad, I just have to keep an eye on these nodules and come back in a year or so and make sure they haven't grown. And as long as they haven't grown, then I'm pretty good. So if anybody, I think it's an important thing. You know, I'm one of these guys that, especially before I was married and before I had a child, I never went to the doctor, never. I think it had been years, but that's how people all of a sudden die. Quite frankly, is you ignore your health, and it's important to stay on top of that. You know, a lot of us, especially guys, think we're going to live forever, and the reality is that we're not. But by doing things like that, regular checkups and things like that, you can come close to living forever. At least that's what I'm told. There's a new Superman movie out. I am not sure if I'm going to see it. Based on what the reviews are saying, it's either the best Superman movie in a long time, or the worst. You know what it is with these superhero movies? I feel the same way about Batman and Spider-Man. And I enjoy a lot of these superhero movies. But how many times can you redo the whole origin story? Why do you need to just retell the same story that we've now seen 3 times? More than 3 times, probably, if you're including the serials. But if it's worth seeing, maybe it's worth seeing. What was I going to say? Oh, quickly. If you're a Staten Islander, I do want to suggest that you check out this great event we're doing tomorrow. It's the first in our Wilderness Adventure series. We're going to have canoeing and nature exploration tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is something we're doing in conjunction with the Parks Department and New York City's Urban Rangers. So if you want to register for this, it's a great event with children. I think my son's probably a little young for it, but next year I'm hoping we can definitely go. You can just go to nycgovparks.org/events/Urban Park Rangers, and it's all up there. But you can just search my council member Frank Morano page, and we're doing a ton of these great events for free: canoeing and nature explorations, archery, and everything else. So I was surprised, maybe it's because of the weather, but I was surprised more people hadn't signed up yet. And the only thing that I can assume is that not enough people know about it. So I'm hoping that everybody watching this, whether you live on Staten Island or not, will share this video and share our flyer. A lot of people still, by the way, not following the Councilman Frank Morano page. Please follow that page and share it, and encourage anybody that you know, especially anybody with a child, to come and check it out. Michael Scott Cutler says, thoughts about Musk's America Party. Well, I touched upon this a little bit in the previous video. I think that, look, I've spent, as you know, Michael, because we were in the Reform Party together, I spent the bulk of my life in trying to do what Musk is doing, build an independent political party. And I know how difficult it is, even if you've got billions of dollars. The thing that I think we need to watch with Musk is he seems to get bored pretty easily. He seems to get interested in something, be very, very focused on it, and then just change his mind and lose interest. So I'm curious if he's actually going to be investing in the work necessary to build this party. The other thing is, it doesn't seem, beyond the prism of fiscal responsibility and space exploration, it doesn't seem that there's necessarily much of an agenda for this political party. And I'm not against either fiscal responsibility or space exploration, but I kind of wonder if maybe he would be better off having an independent group and support candidates that support that agenda. But look, I'm for more voices and more choices. If he wants to try and break the two-party duopoly, good luck to him. I don't see where the support is coming from. And, I think I think it's going to be very difficult for him, but we'll see. We will see. Ballot access is going to be a challenge, and a number of other things. You have cultural problems, legal problems, logistical problems. I think it was, Pedro. Pedro's very informed, who pointed out that it is illegal to use the name America in the name of a New York State political party. It is. He's right about that. I believe that that's totally unconstitutional. And that's one of the things that Musk would need to try to deal with, is challenging some of these unconstitutional ballot access laws. I mean, be serious about it. If you really want to have a shot at doing this, you need to dump literally, not figuratively, $100 million a year into this. You need ballot access, party building, candidate recruitment, lawyers to fight all these legal battles. And that's before you've even advertised done any sort of digital outreach or anything like that, or television or radio. So I think if he's serious about this, he's got to earmark $100 million a year and to make it happen. And he's got to have responsible people. Now, I heard he and Andrew Yang had a conversation about it, but you saw, look, with all the organization and name recognition that Andrew Yang had, he didn't get anywhere with the Forward Party, at least not yet. But we'll see. Hey, speaking of politics, yet another poll came out today showing Eric Adams not in first place, not in second place, not in third place, but fourth place. Eric Adams, fourth place. So for all these people saying that Curtis Sliwa should drop out of the mayor's race, what are you thinking? I don't understand it at all. I don't understand it at all. Johnny Potenza checking in on Instagram. Yeah, Johnny, let me know if you see me speaking or just, the hallway, because I can't tell with what's going on with Instagram. Just let me know. So, then you have the Campaign Finance Board essentially saying that they're not going to be giving Adams any matching funds. I think it's going to be very difficult for him to raise money and to compete. So why would Curtis drop out for a fourth place candidate, right? So to me, this is the best opportunity that the Republicans and Curtis have ever had to elect a mayor. And yet so many Republicans are getting down on Curtis and dogging him and saying, oh, he's got to drop out. He's got to drop out. No. Instead, I think all the Republicans, or anyone that is a center-right New Yorker, anyone that might even potentially vote Republican, needs to get on the Curtis train and help him out. While you're doing it, help me out by making a contribution at MoranoForCouncil.com. I'll tell you what, I got these brand new pens. Oh, no, those are my old pens. I got these brand new pens, Frank Morano pens, with their logo and everything else. And for anybody that makes a contribution right now, of any amount of money at MoranoForCouncil.com, I'm going to send you one of these pens. How do you like that? You want to give me $10? I'm sending you a pen. You want to give me 20? I'm sending you a pen. 100? Pen. $1,000? I'll send you 2 pens. So you can go on now and do that. MoranoForCouncil.com. MoranoForCouncil.com. Jason Marion, that's a man that wants a pen. He says he's donating right now. Pedro says the background on Facebook and IG are the same. So you see me on Facebook then. It's not just a hallway, because when I go to my Facebook, it's a hallway. R.S. Michelle says Curtis is the only choice for NYC. The people calling for him to drop out are using the same strategy GOP used to keep Trump from running in 2012 and encourage him to endorse Romney instead. Yeah, you know what it is? I really do see a lot of parallels between Trump's campaign and Curtis's campaign. Somebody asked me today, I'm not going to say who, but a very prominent person, why so many Republicans around the country are talking down Curtis's campaign and talking up either Adams or Adams or Cuomo. And I think there's a few answers to that. And I'm not going to reveal them all here, but here's a couple of aspects of what I think going on is. One, a lot of the big real estate interests in New York City, obviously they don't want they don't want Mamdani to win, but they're very comfortable with either Adams or Cuomo, because with either of those guys, you get the status Cuomo. Their tax breaks continue, their generous zoning giveaways continue, all the things that the titans of industry in New York City, who have gotten so much from bankrolling Adams and Cuomo for so long, that all continues. Curtis is a wild card. He might do some stuff that they like public safety, and he might do some stuff they don't like. Like, for instance, he's proposed taxing Madison Square Garden and James Dolan. That's something he and Mamdani are on the same page at. He's proposed taxing Columbia University and NYU. That's another thing he and Mamdani are on the same page at. So in some ways, Mamdani and Curtis it's almost like Bernie Sanders and Trump. You know, in 2016, you had Sanders running with a left of center populist message and Trump running with a right of center populist message. And at least in some respects, it was two sides of the same coin. Now, things changed a little bit after 2016 with both of those men, and we can explore why. But in 2016, you had both of those guys being the only one calling out the carried interest loophole. You had both of those guys calling for fair trade rather than free trade, railing against NAFTA, railing against the TPP. You had both of those guys calling out the Bush-era wars. So all the Republican donor class was leery of Trump. You remember, Trump called them out in that conversation, in that debate with Jeb Bush, when Jeb started attacking Trump for having positions that weren't, you know, where a lot of mainstream Republicans had been in the Bush era. They started booing Trump, basically. And Trump called them out. He says, they're all your lobbyists, they're all your donors. And he was right. And the people were not going to be outsmarted by that. The people responded to Trump's message. I see so many similarities this year with Curtis and Mamdani. And the best part about Curtis, though, is you get all the good aspects of Mamdani, the anti-elitist, anti-establishment populism, but without any of the stuff about defunding the police or arresting Netanyahu or not recognizing the Holocaust or giving the middle finger to Columbus or any of this ultra woke nonsense. So I think in a lot of ways, even big money Republican donors in New York City, they'd be much more comfortable with Cuomo or Adams. So the only way Curtis is going to get traction, I mean, think about that. Think of the onions on some of these people after two separate polls have shown Curtis polling ahead of Adams. They're still saying, oh, yeah, if you want any chance of stopping Mayor Mamdani, then Curtis has to drop out. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. It is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So doesn't fly with me at all. So I'm all in for Curtis. Then what else do we have? But I don't know. Anybody else have any questions? Ellen said her last Frank Morano pen broke. Ellen, email me your address. I will be happy to send you a pen. I'll do that tomorrow. Okay. I guess I'll log off. let's say you have any questions, let me know. Please like, comment, and share. Like, comment, and share. If you want to help us out with a contribution, go to moranoforcouncil.com. Much more important than contributing to me, though, is I do hope you will support this Shriners event on Sunday, July 20th. Please buy some tickets. ShrinersChildren'sChampions.org. It's a great thing if you like baseball, or if you like radio, or if you like the cops and firefighters. Either one. So it should be a fun day. All right. Ellen says she'll contribute. Thank you, Ellen. Appreciate that. I'm sure Ellen is just thrilled that her union, or that she's a retiree. She's talked about this before. I'm not outing her, I don't think. Her union has endorsed Zohran Mamdani. Ellen, if you've ever seen her commentary in the Facebook group, or a couple of times that she's called into me on the radio, very, very supportive of the state of Israel. And why shouldn't she be? And I can't imagine that she's thrilled that her union has endorsed. I don't mean to laugh, but it's just, I'm laughing at the incongruity of someone so supportive of Israel paying dues to a union that's now marshaling their resources to back the most Israel major party candidate for mayor New York has ever seen. She says, yeah, I can't even tell you how upset I am. Oh, I believe it. I believe it. Jason, to donate $50 is small, but I donate. Thank you, Jason. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you're a New York City resident, for instance, that $50 would become $450 with the city's 8-to-1 match. That's what I'm saying. There's a big deadline coming up next week. I think it's Monday. So I'm trying to get as many people to donate between now and Monday so that we can get as many folks in as we can before the match. All right. Maybe I'll see some of you tonight at the Staten Island Republican Party's barbecue in the countdown to the 250th anniversary of the United States at the Annandale Terrace. Big thank you to everyone that came out to the street renaming for Frankie Pro Show yesterday. Frankie Pro, the founder of Pro Show. Great event put together. Thank you to my staff for their incredible role in that. And thank you to Massimo Dodonna for everything he did in getting that organized, and Lori Campanelli for getting the ball rolling on that. And for those of you that are Staten Islanders and have still not liked the council member Frank Morano page, I do hope you do. And if you're a Staten Islander, please be sure, check out the free canoeing event that we're doing in Willowbrook Park tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It should be a lot of fun, and proud to support that. You could check out all the great free summer events that we're doing for kids, and go on the website there. But sign up. It's a great opportunity to get outdoors and do something for free. One of the things I've seen, and this is the last thing I'll say because I do have to pick up Carmine. One of the things that I've noticed is that for some people in general, but especially Staten Islanders, but I'm not limiting it just to Staten Islanders, if something is free, they don't trust it. If something is free, they think, there's got to be a catch. Got to be a catch. It can't be that good if it's free. Well, in this case, these events aren't really free. Someone's paying for them, and the someone is the taxpayer. You, the taxpayer, are paying for this. So if you're paying for them, you may as well enjoy it. It's going to be a great event. Free canoeing and all these other great summer events. Like the council member Frank Morano page, if you would. Frank Fontano says he'll see you tonight. He'll be at the Annandale Terrace event tonight. If those of you want to come down, it's open to anybody that wants to come. It's $50. There's great food and there's beer and wine, and I think most of the elected officials will be there. And I'm sure a lot of people have their interesting take on what's going on with the mayor's race and a lot of other races as well. All right, I'm going to get Carmine, and I hope everybody else stays cool and has a great day. I'll see you when I see you.